Welcome to Can TV 21 Hotline. Let's talk etiquette. My name is Nathan Wright, and I'm the Executive Director of the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois. And I am so pleased, exceedingly pleased, to have as my guest once again, Madam Georgia Selmon, etiquette maven extraordinary. Welcome to the show again, Georgia.
Well, it's such a pleasure to be here again.
Oh,
Mr. Wright.
we had so much fun.
Absolutely.
So much fun.
Yes. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. If you remember our shows, it may have been, a year ago, I would say, 8, 9, 10 months ago,
Yes.
somewhere in that area.
Yes, yes.
We did a whole 13-week run, and did we not provide some extremely important information on etiquette? And this lady here is just, I can go and sit in her class tomorrow and just keep my mouth closed and just observe. I mean, it's just, you have such grace, and your delivery is just so professional.
Well, thank you.
It is. It
Thank
is.
you.
So it's exciting.
I've learned from the best. I'll put it to you that way.
Well, the wonderful thing about it, you had a wonderful upbringing, and you had parents who just instilled such important values in you. And we know from our own experience how important those primary years are
Absolutely.
to the kind of person that you become. And actually, 80% of our time and thinking is really relating to what we learn in our primary years, that first 15 years
Yes.
of life.
Yes,
It
yes.
plays such an important part in our life even today. We don't think about those thoughts from that period, but we behave because those values,
Yes.
yes, we formed at that age was so important. But I'm so glad you're here with us today. It's I want to definitely say that Angela Robinson, unfortunately, she had a minor illness, nothing serious, as to why she is not here today. So I'm here, and of course, this wonderful Maven here is with me today, and I'm so pleased, so happy to be able to share this time and this show with you.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here again.
Wonderful,
Yes,
wonderful.
yes.
Now, so what our topic is today is that we have a program that myself and Miss Selma work together. We're partners at one of the local schools in our community, Bloom Alternative School.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And we were contracted a year or so ago, and our contract was reestablished this recent semester because we were so successful with educating those young people and the social graces and how to behave. And they became just a totally different people over a period of about 4 months. I think, what do we have, 5 months with them?
Yes, our first time on board, it was about 5 months,
Yes.
and the experience was amazing.
Wow. But
Yes.
talk about that time. I mean, what was it like? Because you were new at it in terms
Yes.
of kids who are considered misbehaved children,
Yes.
Antisocial children. Tell me about your experience with that.
It was
first class.
different. It was different. My very first time working with children in an alternative setting, and I really didn't know what to expect. And
Right.
surprisingly, at the end of the session, nothing but positive comments from me,
Yes.
because they received the information, I mean, so well. They were so excited, and they were so receptive,
Yes.
and they participated, and it was just a refreshing experience for me, and I believe as well for the young people.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
we had such tremendous topics to discuss with them and
Yes,
to
yes.
introduce to them.
Yes.
And it was just an amazing experience. I
Yes.
enjoyed it immensely.
Yes. And of course, they were totally antisocial towards us when we first started. They would have their heads on the desk. They would be on their computers. They just totally disregarded, ignored us,
Yes.
probably for the first 3 or 4 sessions. And we were there twice a week on a Tuesday and a Thursday.
Yes.
And they just simply ignored us. What are these people talking about? We talked about etiquette. What is etiquette? And it took a minute to win them over. And what was it like? About 6, 7, or maybe 5 girls, and about 8, 10 boys, 7, 8, 10 boys, somewhere in that area. And you were so successful with winning the boys. I think you had more impact on the boys.
You think so?
Than the girls. I really do, because the girls didn't, you tried to engage them. They didn't want to participate. But the boys seemed to relate more quickly to your message. And so
I can't explain that.
yeah, it was very interesting. And it may be because in most of our young males' lives, women are very important.
Yes.
Their mothers, their grandmothers, they hold their mothers at much higher regard than their fathers, unfortunately, because as you know, many of these kids had not a consistent father role model in their home. And so the mother was the primary role model for them. And so I think they they gravitated towards you simply because you're a woman, and you spoke directly to them.
I did. We had great topics, and my approach, I come off like a mom.
Maybe
And
that's what
a
they saw.
grandmom. So my approach is warm,
Yes.
and I'm always encouraging them to, engage.
Yes,
I
yes.
want to hear from them,
Yes.
and I use that same technique in the session that we're currently doing.
Yes, you do.
So-
You do. It's so refreshing to see how they respond to you, and they respond to me as well. Because what we're doing, we both are teaching this great subject here, etiquette, and we consider it to be an impactful subject once they understand what the subject is all about.
Yes.
And that takes normally 3 or 4 sessions with them for them to understand that. And we've gotten some very unusual comments, some of the students, about why isn't it taught? Why don't you share some of that with them?
Well, we had one student to ask the question, why isn't this in the regular school? Why is it that we're just not learning about this etiquette? And so to me, it was like, well, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Right.
And he clearly said, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
I think we have a caller.
Yes. Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, and
Steve.
good evening.
Hello.
Let me tell you something. You know what? It's a great day to be on God's green earth.
Yeah.
I mean, truly. I'm looking at both of y'all again together. It's so wonderful to see you two together, and so wonderful to see her. It's just wonderful to see you again.
Thank you.
To answer your question, I don't have that much time. I wish I could dig more into this. But the greatest thing on God's green earth is a woman, and a woman with a smile. When you see a woman and with that lovely smile, you can almost see the bottom of her foot, her heart. That's what young men and that's what people see in a female. That's what a man's supposed to be. See, that's the problem. It ain't that many men left. There's not truly that many men left on earth. But listen, I'm a firm believer because I am my brother's keeper. I think everybody deserves a second chance. So I hope y'all could put this picture together and see that lovely smile and that knot on his tie. And it's a wonderful, great day. It's so wonderful
Thank
to
you,
see you
Steve.
again. I truly miss you.
Yes.
Listen, I don't have that much time, Mr. Wright.
Yes.
You know I enjoyed this show.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
enjoy your host. It's so wonderful to see y'all two together again.
Thank you.
So
Thank
listen,
you.
I hope we could get another caller
Okay.
Thank you.
and
Steve.
that could say, you know what, you're right. And then we know that you all doing y'all jobs. Listen, let me go because I got to get out of here. But listen, I'll see you next week.
Thank you,
Please
Steve.
have a safe night, a great night. And
Thank you.
just watch people and keep that smile on your face. Do not let nothing on God's green earth take that from you. Y'all guys
Absolutely.
take care now.
Thank
You
you,
too.
Steve.
Bye-bye.
Steve is just so wonderful. I mean, his commentary is just really on the money.
I remember
Yeah.
him from the last time.
Right,
He's
yes.
a person that calls in and watches the show all the time. It's a
Yes.
pleasure to have someone that's committed.
Committed to
yes,
the show.
Yes.
And we really need you, Steve. Don't think if you're not important to us. If you weren't here, we would probably get no calls. But it's okay. I'm sure a few people are indeed watching. But thank you again, Steve. Yes, I look forward to next week to have your commentary, okay? Great guy, great human being. But anyway, we were talking about the students who made some very
Comments.
positive
Yes.
comments about this discipline.
Yes,
And,
yes. I was really kind of surprised because sometimes you don't know just where they're coming from with
Yes.
statements like that or comments
Yes.
like that. And the young man, he said, "Well, why isn't this throughout our school system? Why are we just getting this information?"
Right.
And I kind of felt the same way. Why is it that schools, our system, school education system, isn't introducing and isn't etiquette is not part of the curriculum? Because it's very impactful. It teaches people how to get along with one another.
Basically, that's what it does.
Pretty much how to
Yeah.
get along with one another,
Right.
how to what respect is,
Right.
what rules are, why we have rules,
Yes.
and why are these rules so important,
Yes.
and where did the rules all start? You
Right.
know,
Right.
where the rules
history-
come from, the history
of
of
rules.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was such a refreshing statement and comment that he made, and it gave us a lot of time to think.
Think about, yes,
Yeah.
why?
Try to process that whole
Right.
question.
Why is this not in all of the schools? And we're not being taught this in the schools. And I think what he actually realized that if this was in the school, then the fights, the arguments, all of those distractions that our children are going through in school today, even in elementary school, is a tremendous amount of social distraction, interactions that are very negative and demeaning. And you're human, and you should feel good about yourself. But if someone is demeaning you, that's awful, and it's depressing. And how do you learn in an environment where you're having to deal with these kind of social issues that distract you from the lessons that you're there to learn?
Absolutely.
And so we're beginning to see these young people who are in this situation they didn't volunteer, they are being punished in essence. They have been removed from the regular school and placed in this special program for the ones who have misbehaved or done something to violate the rules.
Right.
But we can't see any difference in them as students. There's no difference in them and the students that were at the regular school.
Exactly.
Other than the fact we know they're there for something.
That's right.
You know.
There was some type of violation that caused them to be in that alternative program.
Yes.
But what's so amazing is that they are so receptive. They're so receptive to the information.
Yes.
And they're so engaging. They want to talk about it, and they want to know more about etiquette.
Yes.
We had a huge discussion on Tuesday about conflict and conflict resolution.
Yes.
And we talked about character,
Yes.
character traits, and morals, and
Yes.
they each had an assignment to talk about their own individual
Yes.
character traits.
That's right.
And it was just so refreshing to hear them give themselves compliments.
Compliments,
And they
right.
felt good about giving compliments to themselves.
Right.
And
I think I may have a
Yeah,
sample
it
of
was-
that lesson.
it was
Yeah.
really, really refreshing. And they were eager.
Eager.
to say, I believe in, I believe that I'm intelligent.
Right,
One said,
right.
I have
I hope I have it here.
respect, self-respect.
Yes.
There was just so many different characteristics
Yeah.
that they spoke
Oh,
about
yes.
themselves,
Yes.
and it was just refreshing to hear it.
Yes, yes.
It was
Maybe we
very
put-
refreshing
Put
to
some
hear
of this
it.
on the overhead here. Where are we on the overhead? Oh, here. I hope you can read that. I think there's a way of zooming. Let me see if I can zoom it in a little bit. It says zoom 2, zoom 1. That's the wrong way. Ah, darn it. Okay,
We
well,
can
we'll
just
read
read
it.
it, yes.
Okay, we'll read it. You want to take that first question?
Sure. Each student get an opportunity to name 5 character traits that they believe represents them.
Mhm.
And some of those traits consisted, of empathy, compassion, kindness, mischievous, deceptive, truthful, respectful, leadership, intelligent, integrity, ethical, humane, self-esteem, positive, helpful, etc., etc. And
Yes,
they
yes.
had an opportunity to declare which one of those traits, 5,
Yes.
they could select 5 traits to represent their character traits. And
Yes.
they were so eager
They were.
to say, I'm a truthful person.
Right.
And I believe in being respectful.
Right.
And we just had lots of dialogue about those character traits.
Yes.
And I believe they felt good about talking about the good things.
About themselves.
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
right. And you would never think these kids would, they gave themselves high grades on character traits. And this is what the exam was really about, to give them an opportunity to think about their character.
Mm-hmm.
And most kids never ask themselves about how do I define my character.
Exactly.
And this relates to who they are perceived to be.
Yes.
And so when they're able to identify words, specific words throughout, here we have maybe 20, and they only could pick 5. So that gave them a limit of 5 character traits that they identified themselves. And on this, it goes from 1 through 5. So the first is kindness, the second, some said loyalty, the third is leadership.
Right.
So we gave them an opportunity to really say something about themselves that they probably never had that opportunity to say.
Absolutely. And then I would say, well, give them an example.
Talking
You
about
say
it, right?
that you are a person that a very positive person or
Yes.
very helpful person. Explain that. Tell me,
Right.
what is it that you do to claim that character trait?
Right.
And they're anxious to express those
Yes.
themselves, and I think it's just refreshing.
Yes.
They actually talked about how they ended up in the alternative
They got
setting.
absolutely, and I think that was so that they could justify that it wasn't all their fault. And one kept continuing to tell us, I didn't start it, but I ended up here, and the other girl got away. she didn't get kicked out. I got kicked out. So it was a way for them to, I guess, purify their humanity in a very positive way.
Yes.
And so that they can begin to now see themselves in this particular choice of character traits that they chose for themselves. And this is a very impactful lesson for them. Now, we did go into morals as well. Let's take a look a little at that. Maybe you can
Absolutely.
see it. I'll move it up a little bit so you can see that and what was covered in that. Okay, and I know I'm not adjusting this. This doesn't even work
I'll
at
just
all.
read it then.
Okay.
How about- Actually, we asked them to give 5 moral values that they believe represent them.
Mm-hmm.
And we gave them a list of those moral values. You want to read those?
Yes. The first one is humane, compassion, kindness, mischievous, deceptive, truthful, respectful, leadership, intelligent, integrity, ethical, empathy, self-esteem, positive, helpful, loyal, goals, vision, popular, friendly, happy, motivated, etiquette, political, intellectual, honesty, consideration, bully, teaser, self-respect. So they had a wide range of words to choose to connect their moral values with in terms of who and how they identified themselves. And so that was just such a, we got so much great feedback.
It
From
opened
those
up
students.
communication. Normally, these students would just be on their computers doing whatever they do, headphones, listening, whatever. This opportunity gives them a chance to communicate.
Right.
It gives us
Yes.
an opportunity to correct some of the communication that needs correcting.
Yes.
I had one student to say, I don't, how did she, what was that expression? I don't have no, I said, get a pen or a pencil out and write your answers on your sheet. And she, I don't have
The language.
the language.
The language. Right.
And I said, excuse me, and then she corrected herself.
Yes. Yes, I
So,
remember that.
it
Yes.
gives us an opportunity to correct some of the behavior that needs correcting, and
Yes.
they're receptive to it.
Yes.
That's the good thing. They're receptive to change
Yes.
and the information.
The information.
Yes.
And also with the use of the language, because we are sticklers about proper pronunciation, sentence structure, and we did another lesson, and I think I may have something real brief on that we can discuss. This whole issue of conflict resolution is the subject. And it started out actually with one of the students explaining to us what happened to her and what this other girl said to her and how she said it. You want to just touch on that a little bit about you have a problem? What was it?
Yeah.
The girl she got in a fight with?
Yeah, sometimes it can be a simple the way a person looks at another person.
Yes.
You know, that could cause a conflict. Something like, "What are you looking at me like that for?" Or,
Right.
"Or, you got a problem with me." And our position is to teach and help them to resolve conflict
Yes.
so it could be a win-win, so that the alternative would not be in an alternative setting.
Right.
That the outcome will not be in jail
Right.
or in something,
Death. Could be
death
very
or
serious.
something extreme. And that's the conversation that we have when we're talking about conflict and resolutions to conflict. The students are receptive. They
Very.
want to talk about these kinds of subjects and concerns.
And issues, yes.
Yes.
And I think in this case, what we did when she said that the other girl came up to her and said, "You got a problem with me?" And then she just said, "I just hit her," didn't she?
Yeah.
She just went at her physically.
And it's
You
so
know?
what's so ironic is that a lot of these altercations that causes students to end up in the alternative setting or sometimes end up in jail.
Yeah.
It could be something that happened on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about that. I hope Mr. Wright will
Yes,
have
yes.
time to discuss the
Yes.
social media and the
We did.
problems that comes out of
that.
social media that can cause serious conflict.
Yes, absolutely. And we touched on that on Tuesday, and I think your presentation on it was really, really impactful. But I want to give out our information before we're off the air. You can contact us at 312-473-2942, Or, of course, you can send us an email at info@efoi.org. Again, info@efoi.org. Send us an appreciation of the show. Whatever you choose to send us, we will happily receive it. And go back to the overhead again. Let's see, us. And we thank you for tuning us in. How about some closing remarks from you, Madam Selmon?
Well, this has been delightful. I totally enjoyed talking about etiquette, education, and I'm so happy that we have the opportunity to carry it into one of the high schools, and it just gives me great joy to teach a subject matter that's so very needed. And the bonus is having the students to receive the information with such excitement and support.
And support. You're absolutely right. These are some wonderful young people we're working with. And I think we should give ourselves a grade of 150 for the success we're having with them, because what we're teaching them is lessons for life.
Yes.
And that they can use going forward and avoid all of the pitfalls and traps that are out here for them, to end up in prison, to end up doing something that they really would not do if they better understood how etiquette and social behavior works in their lives. And they're going to use this information to avoid some of the things that are happening to them each and every day.
Yes.
And that's what we're there for, to give these young people the kind of education they need to survive and to prosper. And that's how important etiquette is. It's at the very foundation of our humanity. And I'm so blessed to have this great maven in this program with me. And we're partnering and we're having a ball. We're having so much fun. We prepare and then we talk about it thereafter.
Yes.
And we critique it and say, wow, did you hear what that young man said?
Yes.
And their humanity is coming alive. And when they're in that state of mind, they begin to realize their true self, their
Yes.
true potentials. And we're extremely pleased to be able to do that. So now, if you know a school that you think we can be a help to, we can contribute to, do not hesitate. If you're a parent, say to your principal, you need the etiquette foundation at this school.
Yes.
And I guarantee you we'll reduce the violence in that school and the children will be able to learn. I said learn, because you need discipline in the classroom to learn.
Yes.
And if the teacher doesn't have that, she can't teach. You know that, and I know that. And the schools know that. So do your school and our young people a great favor by recommending the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois to come and make a miracle happen.
Yes.
Is that what we're doing? Are we not making miracles happen?
Absolutely.
You know, our kids, they go and they become great students and they focus on the real important things.
Yes.
One of your students, just in closing, made a comment to you. What did she tell you about her mother? She said she's going to stop doing what?
Oh, well, she's her setting now is the very last stop.
Yes.
If she gets into any more trouble, she will be kicked completely out of the school system.
Yes.
And she said she made a promise to her mother, you will see me march across that stage and get my diploma. She's determined to do that, and we are determined to help her learn how to manage her issues, anger
Yes.
issues,
Yes.
so that she can successfully graduate and receive her high school diploma at her school.
Yes. So with that said, what else can we say on this particular show? I thank you for viewing us. I thank you, Steve, for giving us a call. And once again, I thank this great maven here for participating in this show with me and making it a very positive show. Thank you so much out there, and see us next week. We will be right here on Wednesday. Have a good evening.